Okay, I've got another 3v3 on the Forts of Deans, the favorite 3v3 map. I don't know why everybody wants to play on this map. There's 3 other maps to play on. Come on, people. Anyway, playing random all because that's what I play as. So I don't know who I'm going to be playing until I get into the game. So I know I'm playing some UNSC. I'm either Forge or Anders. Now I know I'm Anders. So I'm kind of like, now I have the hardest job of all, playing as Anders. So I got to play Best Girl here, and I got a Forge and a Brute Chieftain against, I believe, was it Cutter, Forge, Anders? Oh, maybe it's double Forge. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get some Warthogs out so that I could clear an Expo and maybe rush them. So I'm gonna go over to the other side to collect their supplies instead, and just take them away because that's what I do. I should probably start playing some more 1v1s because 3v3s are really where all the bad players hang out. Yeah, I get rammed there, but I'm just gonna keep taking these supplies because they're mine. And I guess Yellow's gonna get pursuit because he's mad that I took those supplies. Whatever, they're mine. Can't get them now. So I'm gonna get Gunner here, and or am I gonna punch out more Warthog? I think I get up to 5 Warthogs and then I research Gunner. Because if I get rushed, I want to have some units on the field. Whether it's going to be Warthogs or punching out of barracks. I'm not sure I see a reason to punch out of barracks for Anders on this map. Like, the only situation I could see where I would want to punch out of barracks with Anders is on either of the Frozen maps, Frozen Valley or Glacial Ravine. And that's just in case you're like down a Forge or a Cutter or something, because you could take those garrisons.
All units. Supply pad.
And especially in the case of Frozen Valley, if you spawn in front of the bonus reactor, just go barracks first. You got to get in that reactor as fast as possible because you don't want a Covenant leader. Like in the previous game, I believe it's the Muffin Man was playing on the other team, and he was playing the Brute Chieftain, and he just ran and grabbed the bonus reactor out from under our Anders and teleported in some locusts at like 4 minutes because he was able to research because he'd snatched that reactor. Like, just go barracks first if you're Anders or anybody, and just get that reactor.
Supply pad upgrade.
Like, by the time you grab it back, it's probably going to be too late. Because that's going to give them easy tech 2, and they're going to be able to just they'll have it researched. Like, even if you take it away and they've already queued up the research, they're still going to get it. So I'm gonna try to clear this Expo and stay in the blind spot of the turret, but my units are always dumb. Unfortunately, you know, this Rebel Marines unit is going to come up and ruin it. So I gotta get rid of them first, and I gotta get in this blind spot so my Warthogs are not taking fire from the... And then another one comes up, because of course they do. But I'm gonna get them, and then I'm gonna move into the blind spot. I'm like, I don't want to go too far down because there's a turret down there as well. So I get 4 Warthogs firing on that, and I'll be able to free up an Expo. So I'm gonna continue working on getting my supply pads upgraded and getting it up to a fortress. And Brute Chieftain over here with the 2-star Brute Squad. I do like me some Brute Squads.
Supply pad upgrade.
He has the right idea here because I believe Red is playing Cutter, and every Cutter player just goes and grabs these garrisons because it gives your team a huge advantage. Especially if you could get that and line some Cobras up behind it. There's no way they're going to punch down. You only need 5 Cobras. You'll find surprisingly that Captain Cutter could go light there. 5 Cobras, 5 Wolverines, that's good enough. And you'll have like 24 population or something. Yeah, because... And then you could just get in there with ODSTs. I would also suggest building an air pad on this map if you're Captain Cutter, just to sneak a Hornet in so that you can get eyes on enemy base so you could drop ODSTs. So I'm going to drop an Expo there because I'm going to need to. This is 14. Brute Chieftain needs healed because he got messed up. Yeah, trying to take the center and get stuff in there. Especially since I'm playing Anders and I'm definitely not going to throw down a barracks. The Forge player could have done that. A lot of Forge... So, I'll go over this problem later in the game because the Chieftain is going to actually build Hunters, but I think I find a lot of the Forge players in 3v3s to just be very awful at the game. Like, they don't know what they're doing, and that's why they play in 3v3s. Because they're able to have their teammates defend them. So that they could go straight into tanks. Like, you could get away with that in 3v3. Because that's what most players do. They just sit back and just go straight to tanks. And unfortunately, they're prime taking for early rushes and stuff, because you could just get in there with like a Banshee rush or something. And since it takes like even with the Chinese tanks build, it takes 3 minutes, and you can only do that effectively with Forge. To get a tank out on the field at like 3 minutes or something, but in most cases it's going to be 4 minutes.
Supply pad upgraded. Supply pad upgraded.
And 4 minutes into a match is way too early to have a tank out, because you're only going to have one tank, and what the enemy's going to have, you don't know. They could have been on your base in the first minute or first 2 minutes. So Brute Chieftain he has a 3-star Brute squad there now, so he's gonna try to take on these garrisons on the side, so that we have sight when they're attacking, so that we know that we're getting attacked. So I'm just porting my Warthogs through the teleporters here because I want to do some scouting. I want to know what they've got going on.
Vehicle depot complete.
Because if you don't know what they've got going on, you're going to be in a pretty bad spot. So they didn't even clear this base. And I think I only get as far as yellow because, yeah, yellow Anders has Warthogs. And unfortunately, once they get in an engagement, they're not going to listen to your orders. They're just going to keep fighting. I do take out a couple Warthogs, but... at this point, I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to be able to rush and put any damage on them anyway. So I just given up on that. I'm just going to get my vehicles out and start fighting that way. Get the research and everything. So I do want to put a barracks up because I do want to get some Spartans out later for jacking vehicles. I think this is a good way to play Anders. Just don't put the Spartans in your tanks because you can overflow your population by jacking vehicles with Spartans. So my idea is here, if I get attacked, I'm going to disable them with Gremlins or the Cryo Bomb, and I'm going to take tanks from them. So you'll be up 3 vehicles, they'll be down 3 vehicles. So I'm a little behind because I went Warthogs in the beginning to clear out an Expo. Maybe I should have only gone with 3 Warthogs. I mean, that would have been enough.
Supply pad upgraded. Fortress upgrade complete.
So yeah, Red Cutter is going to bring up his Marines. Look like they've got new blood. I think they only have 4 at the start, so yeah, they got new blood, but I don't want them in there, so I've sent up my tanks to clear those out. those garrisons out, because that gives him sight on Green's bases to drop ODSTs, and I don't want that happening. So I take my tanks over there to clear it out.
All units.
And I get them. Because, you know, they're just new Blood Marines, and they're no match for tanks. This was a little lower health. And here we know, yo, we're getting rolled up on by Black Forge. I get a message from somebody, I don't know who that is. Said it was like an explicit message or something. I just kind of was like, what? Well, what do you mean by that? So I'm going to get my tanks back in position and punch out a few Gremlins, because I'm going to need them. I don't even have canister shell. He's bringing up Spartan tanks. So, yeah. If he attacks me, I'm going to be in a bad spot. So I just got to get a few Gremlins to stun his tanks.
Gremlin, ready to go. Gremlin charged up.
And the Chieftain's coming over to assist. So Green here just throws his Warthog up by the teleporter. I don't know why people don't guard this teleporter. It's an incredible blind spot to just leave there in between the two top bases. If you could get a Warthog in there, you could just Pelican things in, and you're going to have a bad time. All right, so I got a few Gremlins. I'm in a better spot, but I don't really have the research I need. Green's got all of his tanks over here. Looks like he has canister shell. So my tanks and my Gremlins are in position, and the Chieftain's in position.
Reactor improved.
So I want to have my tanks in front of my Gremlins, because the Gremlins, they have like no HP. And here I'm gonna get some research in for focusing lens, and here come the black tanks. Now I understand why they're attacking. So Green is actually going to make a counter push up while this is going on, and I guess he just drops a D-bomb immediately. But you know that's okay. That's okay, because the Chieftain, he could just stun a tank. So I see him going back here. And looks like yellow is pushed up on me too. So I'm going to go in here and micromanage these Gremlins, because I need to disable these Spartan tanks. So I'm also going to cryo-bomb them, because now Purple says, I've got these hunters coming to help you out. And I'm like, okay, I'll just move and reposition, because... let's see, does he have canister shell? Yeah, his tanks are in way better position. So what I'm doing here is throwing out a D-bomb so he can't Pelican them out. And then I'm going to move my vehicles over here to flank him. And so he can't get out this way, but he is stripping my base pretty bad. And I'm going to micromanage these Gremlins to... Yeah, bad spot right there for the Gremlin. I need to disable these Spartan tanks, because they're going to do the most damage. And then I'm going to move them out of the way. I lose, like... Yeah, I've lost 2 Gremlins, but here's the Hunters. And they're Tech 3 Hunters. This guy's kind of not going to get his vehicles out at this point. Now I understand why Hunters aren't used in high-level matches, because the canister shell glitch... which is just a crutch that people rely on because they're not good. You'll see them do it, like just do it like 2 or 3 times, because yeah, they'll roll in with like 10 tanks, and that's all they're gonna do is canister shell glitch. So I accidentally built a reactor there, and I think your Green lost his entire army there, but this guy has a Goshawk. Not sure about that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back to rebuilding my base and getting my units back out.
All units.
And I've got to get some research down on Tech 3, and well, I actually go to Tech 4 there. But this match is going to wind down pretty quickly because the Chieftain's going to go in and attack their Anders. Because now Anders is completely out of position with their units. Yellow is all the way over there trying to attack this Expo that Green placed down. And is not going to be able to respond to the Chieftain. So the Chieftain's just going to push up on Yellow Anders. And port in his Hunter units through the teleporters. So in the meantime, I'm going to pick up Chain Amplifier because looks like this is going to be a vehicle-heavy match. And, you know, once I get Chain Amplifier researched, I'm also going to get Canister Shell. But yeah, he's going to take down the air pad because he doesn't want air units on the field. I was going to build Wolverines anyway. I mean, he's bringing Gauss Hogs over here. Nice thought, but you're not going to beat Tech 3 Hunters with your Gauss Hogs. I mean, I can see you beating, like, Tech 1 Hunters because you got the RAM and everything, but there's just no way that you're going to beat Tech 3 Hunters. So I'm going to get my army back up, composite it, and actually, I will be getting Wolverines. At least I'm going to. You know, that's my plan. And punch out some Spartans later. I think the Gremlins really saved me here. Like, if I hadn't stunned those Spartan tanks, I don't know how... I might have lost that base. So, yeah, there's really nothing... I'm thinking about helping here, but I see that they don't have very many units at all. Would have given my teammate the overwhelming advantage if they had more vehicles, but there's nothing they can do against this many Hunters, unless they're going to canister shell glitch. And you know, the easiest way to take out canister shell glitchers is just to hit them in the early game, because they're not going to have any units on the field. They're just going to build all tanks, and if you get in there, yeah, they're just going to quit out because it's over. Nothing they can do.